1. This story is a little different than the usual. I'm a manager at a local barbecue chain with 3 restaurants in town, some franchises in a couple different states, and a booming nationwide food shipping system. I worked in our drive-thru and our dining room for years, and last year got the manager promotion in our office. So now I mostly deal with taking call-in orders, catering, paperwork, and inputting shipping orders. Our shipping is bonkers, okay? We input over 3,000 orders per week for a whole month and a half during Christmas, and our plant was working overtime every day just to get them out. We have a deal with a popular shipping company for some discount shipping prices and guaranteed 2-day delivery, since it's food, you know? And generally it goes really smooth and there's little issue. Well, near Christmas, the COVID vaccine was shipped out on an emergency level. The shipping company we work with has its headquarters here in town, and over half of their fleet was reallocated to shipping the vaccine overnight without warning. For us, this meant that every shipping order we'd put in for the week before Christmas got pushed back by a week, December 24th. The last day orders could be received was a Thursday, so roughly 5,000 orders had to be delivered in a 3.5-day period. This made for some unfortunate threat-level midnight, unplugging my phone just to get a moment of peace, holiday-running pandemonium. A lot of customers were super understanding, more than willing for me to push their delivery back with no guarantee it'll get there before Christmas because of the circumstances. I'm grateful to them. However, as usual, there were 37 instances, I counted, where someone said I ruined their Christmas dinner presents, and in one instance their sanity. Trust me, customer, right back at you. Some were casual fuck yous. I don't know what we're going to eat for Christmas dinner now, or...
Can't you just ship it through a different company?
2 interactions have stuck with me. One was an order going up north. It's December 24th, and she hasn't gotten it yet, and is leaving town in a couple of hours. Understandably frustrating. She is the first customer I'm talking to at 7:30 in the morning. It was supposed to be delivered yesterday, and I'm leaving in 2 hours. This is my family's Christmas dinner. What are we supposed to do if it's not in before I leave? I'm so sorry, ma'am. When I pull up the tracking information, it says it's out for delivery, but I don't have a specific time listed here. Once we send it to shipping, it's out of our hands. Out of your hands, so you just hand it over and hope for the best? What kind of business model is that? This is where I explain the shipping delay reasoning. Well, that's just ridiculous. I didn't order a vaccine, I ordered barbecue for my family. So what, if it comes in after I leave, it's just going to sit on my porch rotting for a week? Unfortunately, I can't say what time it will be delivered. But if it is after the time you leave, we can issue you a replenishment for January or a complete refund. I apologize for the issue, ma'am, but this is the most I can do for you at the moment. So I'm not going to be here when it's delivered, and it's going to sit rotting on my front porch. You can't see any more information on when I'll receive it? Unfortunately, it only says by the end of the day. So it's going to sit at my house for a whole week rotting. Someone is going to see that and break into my house. Excuse me? Someone is going to see this food fucking rotting on my front porch and rob me because they can tell no one is home. My family is going to get robbed over Christmas because of you. I didn't know how to respond, so I stayed silent. So when I get back from my mother's and my house is fucking robbed, it's going to be because of you and your shit company. What's your name? I want to make sure I get the right person on the police report. I give her my name, she cusses at me a little more, and I hang up. It's 7 in the morning, dog. 20-ish minutes later, I see her number calling again, and let it ring because I don't want to be cussed out again. She calls again, so I take a deep breath and pick up cheerfully. Your shipping company says they can't track my package without a shipping number. Give that to me. Okay, let me get that pulled up for you. I can hear her talking to someone else while I'm pulling her order back up, and I hear her call me stupid and laugh. Whatever. I get the tracking info pulled back up and give her the tracking number, which she makes me repeat twice, slowly. Great. Now can you tell me why you didn't fucking think to give me that the first time I called? Ma'am, if you requested it, I would have handed it over at the beginning. I apologize that we had to speak again. You should have known I would need the number. Are you just fucking stupid? I don't respond to that. Right, well, I hope I ruined your Christmas like you ruined mine. She hangs up. I was thinking about that interaction for a whole week. Shipping isn't even my job, I just take the calls. A second incident was when another lady calls about her package. She's very nice and understanding about the delay. She says her presents are also delayed. She's frustrated already that her family had to push celebrating Christmas back by a week, but she's dealing with it the best she can. I thought our talk was going very well, very sane, and I set her up to have her package reshipped when it works for her. Then we get to the end of the call. Thank you for helping me out here. Now, I'm not happy about it, but I will have to curse you. What? Have a Merry Christmas. She hangs up. I literally spent the rest of my day sweating, thinking something was going to happen to me or my family. I have some friends that dabble in witchcraft, so I can only assume that's what she was alluding to. Thankfully, despite running 37 Christmases and literally being cursed, I had a wonderful time with my family. I told our higher-ups that if I'm taking shipping orders this year, they're either paying me double or allowing me to end phone calls when customers start showing their ass. Cheers to a wonderfully perilous Christmas 2021. 2. Backstory. I work in a small coffee shop and cafe. There's only me and 2 other employees and our boss. It's super small. It's counter service. We're all in a good area where we get people, but it's never too crazy. I've been there about 2 years and know the ins and outs of everything. We work by ourselves a lot in the evenings during the week, which is fine, it's never too much to handle. But the weekends are a bit different. On Saturdays we have 2 shifts, opening and closing, with a 2 to 3 hour time frame, where 2 employees are there. I usually open since mornings are busier, and my coworker who has been there about 2 months closes, since it's easier and less busy. Our food menu is small and is fairly easy and fast to prepare, but it takes longer than getting out coffee drinks, especially if we get busy. So it's a Saturday morning and it had been pretty busy, but I'm working hard and fast, and everyone is saying how great the service was for it only being myself and getting things out at a reasonable time. Great. So it's about 10 minutes before my coworker gets there, and a lady comes up and orders 2 hot sandwiches and 2 kids sandwiches. And they get a latte and a smoothie. Okay, great. Gotta get the food started, then make the drinks. Shouldn't take too long, but takes longer than I'd like. A couple of middle-aged ladies and a teenager come to the counter. I immediately tell them I'll be with them in just a minute, no problem. Well, my coworker comes in and clocks in, and I tell her to jump on making the rest of the food, and I'll make the drinks real quick, and then I'll get the counter. I make the drinks, and as I'm putting the lids on, all hell breaks loose.
Can we just get a coffee?
Yes, I'll be with you in 1 second. I was just about to walk up to the counter.
We just want coffee. You 2 need to work better together to take care of your customers. This is ridiculous how you 2 are wasting time.
Now, I've worked in food service for years. I've been a manager before at a place. I know how to handle a situation like this. I usually keep my temper under control despite rude-ass people. I walk up to the counter. Sorry for the wait. What can I do for you?
Well, all of us were gonna get lattes, but we don't have the time to wait 10 minutes for them. But I just want a coffee.
Okay, what size?
I can't believe you don't know how to prioritize your customers.
Now I'm getting mad. I had told her it would be a little wait, and she didn't wait but 5 minutes at most, which, yes, is a lot, but it's not like I was standing around talking. I was hella busy. What size coffee?
I don't know, just a small one?
Okay, $2.25.
Well, my daughter wants something.
She takes the drink menu and looks at it for a good amount of time. Funny, I thought they were in a hurry.
Iced tea, medium.
Okay, $4.25 is your total. She proceeds to throw a 20 at me, so I slammed her change on the counter, give her the drinks, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm starting to shake, I'm so angry, because I'm just trying my hardest. I get through the other customers in line with people telling me I was doing fine, and to just ignore that crazy woman, and I overhear an exchange between a regular customer of mine and this awful, awful woman. I'm just gonna say that they're working really hard and there's only 2 of them doing everything. They always try to be as fast as they can to get things out. Surprisingly, she stopped yelling at this point.
Well, this is still ridiculous. I worked in the service industry and this is so poorly run. They need to step it up because no one should have to wait to order. I'm in a hurry. I can't wait all day.
What? If this lady was in such a hurry, why is she still here? They exchange a few more words, but I couldn't hear. But luckily this lady, who was in such a time crunch, finally leaves. My regular comes up and tells me what the lady said, and how she couldn't believe she had witnessed someone being so rude for pretty much no reason. I thanked her for defending us, because not a lot of people would do that. After 10 minutes I calmed down enough and just started to laugh at how miserable that woman must be to berate 2 coffee shop employees. I don't drink, but I definitely wanted to slam back a few after that shift. 3. So here's my background so you know where I'm coming from. Nearly 2 decades in restaurants. Since before I could legally work in California. HOH, FOH, everything, mostly serving. Couple of years bartending, training everyone, manager on duty, managing a few years. Not good at taking the easy road. If I were smarter, I'd be going home every night with wads of cash, instead of working 55-hour weeks. I'm very fortunate to have worked with, trained, hired many very amazing people, and watched them mature, grow, and either leave for their careers, or stay doing what they like to do, short, furious, money-making shifts like the beasts we are. I'm the type of person that wants people to want to bust their ass for me, because I'm willing to bust my ass for them. And that style has worked very, very well for me. I remember many managers I've worked for over the years that I did not respect, and a few that I would sweat and bleed for. I want to be the latter and earn it. Now to the point. Right now, all of you are more valuable than ever before. Managers too. Cooks, servers, if you have no experience, you are still in demand in restaurants at the moment. Prep, host, busser, barback. You're a foot in the door to getting very fast promotions if you work harder than your peers. Everyone needs money to survive. Everyone needs money to get and enjoy the things they want. Maybe you notice a difference in guests. I don't. But most people here don't actually have beef with guests. Good ones, bad ones, it all averages out. Both types will exist forever. What you do not need is to tolerate shitty management. The worst and most damaging thing you can do for your own well-being is to tolerate a bad environment. If you have even a little experience and don't have glaring red flags, like lasting 2 months at your last few jobs, then there are a lot of people looking for you, some quite desperately. Find a place that doesn't make you miserable. They exist. My team is one of them. I'm rebuilding. Since COVID shut down my home store and moved me to another town with a lot of fresh people, but I've dragged along some of my old work family. But with business ramping up, and restrictions going away bit by bit, I need people, good people. We've called our competition and talked to the GMs in different companies than mine. Their sales are going up too, and they are understaffed. They need people. I'm going to repeat something that is said constantly in any circles discussing work. People don't quit bad jobs, usually. They quit bad management. Right now you can afford to interview on your days off just for the fun of it. And I don't mean a desperate attempt to find work, I mean you interview them to see what they offer. Restaurants need workers. This seems to be true for the vast majority of the US, but particularly in places that had restrictions and are now easing them, like California, where I am. Do it for the lulz, do it to lessen your stress and anxiety. Do it to make more money and get away from toxicity. Interview a few restaurants if you're not happy. You hold the interview. It also looks good that you're holding a job while interviewing for a new one. Come prepared to ask questions, and see if you can talk and interview a trainer while you are at it. If you don't find something, you haven't lost anything. But you may greatly improve your situation. You'll never know if you don't try. You have value. If you feel like you are not valued where you are, change that. You can. You just have to put one foot in front of the other. If your management sucks hard enough, feel free to get a bunch of people to follow you at the same time. Maybe management will change jobs themselves. to something more appropriate, like highway trash cleanup. Congrats to those that made it through my rant. You really do have the patience to survive. Also, I'm hiring. 4. Shortly after graduating from high school, I got a job working as a waitress at a local restaurant. It was a pretty popular place, but really boomed during the holiday season. A few days before Christmas, a woman came in wanting to pay for and pick up a phone order. Now, to be clear, there were 7 pages of takeout orders. Each page had about 10 to 13 orders. I ask for the name on the order, and she gives me 3, saying that she isn't sure who placed the order and that she's just in charge of picking it up. I look through each page and find a few matches. None are the correct order, though. As I reach the last page, I tell her that we don't have any more orders with those names and ask if there is another that it might be under. At this point, she is visibly annoyed and gives me another 2 that it might be under. I scroll back to the first page and start searching again. I find another match, but again, it's the wrong order. Now she's actually angry. The conversation goes something like this. I'm so sorry, but we don't have any more matches for those names.
Well, it's gotta be one of them. I don't know why this is so hard for you.
Maybe it would be easier to search for the order itself. What exactly are you picking up?
How am I supposed to know that? I didn't place the order. It's your job to check me out and just get it to me. Why is this so hard for you?
Well, unless there is another name to search for, I'm not sure what else I can do for you. There were about 75 orders placed for this weekend, and I don't have any other way to know which is yours.
Are you fucking kidding me? It shouldn't be this complicated. Are you stupid or something? You are working a register. It cannot be that hard.
Okay. How about I read the names of each order and you let me know when something sounds familiar? We can go through each order that way.
Fucking fine. If that's what you have to do your job, then just waste my goddamn time. I guess.
She mutters something under her breath that I didn't quite catch, but she definitely used the R word, though. I get about halfway through the first page. Company X.
Yes, that's it.
I smile wide, a genuine and true smile, ear to ear. Oh, do you work at Company X?
Not that it's any of your business, but yes, now hurry up. This has taken way longer than it should have. Is it even ready yet?
Do you know the owner, Mr. X?
Yes, he is the one who organized the party. Why?
That's my dad, smiling even wider than I thought possible. I'll have to tell him about this. What a small world. The color visibly draining from her face. Yep, my dad. Who would have known? I'm actually going on my 30 when I'm done here. I'll have to give him a call. I'm sure he'll love to hear all about this. Before she had a chance to respond, I turned around to grab her food. I spent the rest of that transaction just positively glowing, basking in her silent panic, before saying, "Goodbye, have a wonderful day. I'll be sure to tell my dad that you said hi." It was beautiful. I did tell my dad about it, and he was absolutely livid. Mostly about the fact that she would dare to speak to someone in that way while actively representing the company. He didn't fire her, but she was given a severe warning and was put onto probation. She didn't last long, though. Less than 2 weeks later, she lost the company a pretty big client by responding very rudely via email. Honestly, I may be biased, but I think the company is better off without her. 5. Many years ago in a land far away. Not really, it just seems that way. I worked as a restaurant manager in a locally owned restaurant owned by some crazy people. One night, we were overrun. It's all hands on deck. I'm doing everything I can to help, topping drinks, bussing tables, running food. Whatever I can to help the servers keep up. I try to have their back, and they do a great job. Everyone is in the weeds, and the GM comes up and asks me to take a section as someone is not there. No problem. It's the hardest section to work as it is in the outer patio and the farthest away from everything. But I started out serving and still have some skills. I go in and find out I've been quadruple sat immediately. Since the GM was hovering around the hostess stand all the time, this was no mistake. He is trying to kill me, or make me look bad. He's kind of a jerk. Better roll up the sleeves and get to work. Now, 3 of the tables are easy. Parties of 2, but the last is a 6-top, and the dad is taking charge of ordering. Whatever. I get the drink orders for all the tables, and as I'm getting theirs, he mentions how it's his daughter's birthday, and she selected our restaurant out of all the other choices in town. I murmur something and hustle off. Now, we can sing the obligatory happy birthday if needed, but every single server is running around like their hair is on fire. I don't even have to ask. They would straight out laugh in my face if I did ask them to stop running and come sing with me.
We really sucked at it anyway.
For the rest of the time this party is there, the dad is giving me the stink eye. I roll out the free dessert for the birthday girl, and she seems happy. I already hinted to him that we're having a hard time getting enough servers to sing, which, as any sane person could tell, as every server is at a dead run every time they zip by. I think we had 2 call out that night. GM was in a lather to seat as many as he could. We could just barely provide good service, much less take time to do a rendition of Happy Birthday. Finally, after I have the other tables all happy, and that one all paid and wrapped up, a server comes and grabs me in the back, as I get a sip of water for the first time in hours.
One of the tables wants to see a manager.
Where? She leads me out to the patio and to that 6-top. As soon as I start heading to them, Dad all of a sudden does not need to see a manager at all. They leave no tip. Whatever. There were 5 of you that could have sang if it was that important. I love people sometimes. Luckily, my current job requires 0 singing. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to Spinning Plates, episode 133. And thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. We're a bit muddled up this week again, but we got there in the end. If you liked the video, then please do hit like, click subscribe, and or leave a comment. This may be assisted by the aid of pets or some sort of device, possibly ordered from Wish, in the shape of a human finger, that will let you sit relaxed on the sofa or snuggled on the bed while you reach out and you boop the like button or kind of nudge the mouse towards it so that, it's fine. I'm not sure how easy that'll be for leaving comments. Possibly aid of an on-screen keyboard would help. Okay, now speaking of birthdays, I'd like to give a shout out to our friend and subscriber Beanboy. It's their birthday today. I don't know how old they are. It's rude to ask someone how old they are. I know they're younger than me, but most people tend to be these days. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bean Boy. Happy birthday to you. I hope whatever your plans are for today, you have lots of fun, get lots of presents, and lots of cake. Okay, and with that, we're going to wrap things up there for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourself.